Number one is a good picture. I think I'm a little bit too passionate about this point, but having a good picture is so important in an AuPairWorld profile. Hey guys, my name's Graham Cargill, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you how to find the right host family for your au pair stay. I'm doing this video in collaboration with AuPairWorld. They're an incredible platform. You absolutely must take advantage of them, and if you would like to see my videos on my channel, you can go and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every single week. That being said, let's jump right into this video. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you my 5-step method to finding the right host family for you. I've used this method 4 times now with good success each time, so I'm positive if you use this method to find a host family, you will have results. Be sure to stick in there through each and every point because they are extremely important and one point relies on the prior point. So if you miss one, it probably won't make any sense. Getting the intro out of the way, I want to jump right into the first step in this process, which is to set your expectations. Before you ever start looking for a host family, you have to find out what you're looking for, or else you're gonna end up way overwhelmed with host families and not really know which one is going to be right for you. Some things you should ask yourself to set expectations are: what country do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the city or the countryside? Do you want to speak your native language or your host country's language? Do you want to have loads of kids or just a few kids, older kids or younger kids? All of these are questions that you need to consider when setting your expectations. The big point here is to set realistic expectations. If you set crazy specific expectations or expectations that are too big, you're gonna have a hard time finding that right family. So if you set your expectations too narrow or too wide, it will kind of skew your results. Before you start searching for the host family, you do need to have a realistic set of expectations to guide you along. The second step, and possibly the most important, is to have a good AuPairWorld profile. If you remember one thing from this video, remember this: regardless of how good you are, if your profile is not good, host families are not going to talk to you. I cannot stress this enough. If you don't have a good AuPairWorld profile, you're not gonna appear attractive to potential host families. There's a couple of things you can do to really beef up your AuPairWorld profile and make yourself more attractive to host families. Number one is a good picture. I think I'm a little bit too passionate about this point, but having a good picture is so important in an AuPairWorld profile. When host families are scrolling through AuPairWorld, they're gonna see your name, a little bit of information about you, and just one tiny little picture. And if that picture's not attractive, they're probably not going to click on your profile. Your first picture in your profile needs to be a good picture of you and just you. It does not have to be professional quality, it doesn't have to be a headshot, just something that portrays you clearly where the host family can clearly see your features, your face, and already get the feeling that they know you before they ever even click on your profile. This picture is what's going to attract them to you. The remainder of your pictures should be, of course, some of you, but you can also include some of you with your family, activities that you enjoy doing, places you've been, anything that shows your personality, but you need at least one picture of you and just you. The second part of a good AuPairWorld profile is quality text. This one is also really important because if you have a good picture but they click on your profile and your text is not good, they're probably not going to continue reading your profile. AuPairWorld makes this extremely simple for au pairs because they divide the profiles into different sections where you can put different information about yourself, like what you like to do in your free time, why you want to be an au pair, your education, your experience. All of those things are things you need to fill out so host families can get to know you before they send you a message. Again, this doesn't have to be an essay, it does not have to be perfect, but you do want the host family to have that feeling that they've already connected with you before they've actually talked to you. If you're writing your profile in English and you're not a native English speaker, I suggest you have someone who's really good at English or a native speaker go over it and just check it for grammatical errors or things that might not sound right. I suggest this for any language you're typing it in, to have a friend, a parent, a sibling go over, just read it and tell you what they think about it. Sometimes they might suggest a few changes, and this has always worked for me. My biggest suggestion here is to just be yourself. Don't paint yourself as somebody you're not. Be honest, be yourself, because that's what what's gonna attract host families to you. Step number 3 in finding that right host family is to be proactive. What I mean when I say be proactive is you need to be spending at least 15 or 20 minutes a day going on AuPairWorld, writing messages to host families and or responding to messages from host families. If you've never been on AuPairWorld and you've never seen a host family's profile, you'll see that a lot of host families receive literally hundreds of applications. So if you're not on top of the game, if you're not fast, if you're not outworking everybody else, there's a good chance that host family is probably not going to pick you. Especially for us guys out there, the competition is intense. And the only way to get on top of that competition is to outwork everybody else. When I'm looking for a host family, I like to get on AuPairWorld twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, to send messages and respond to messages. And of course, don't be obsessed over it. Don't spend all your day on it. But it is something good to do to be fast, so host families will be more likely to send you messages. Remember, they can see in your profile how long it takes you to respond to messages and if you do respond to messages. So if you're not responding or if you're taking days to respond, host families are not going to be as likely to send you a message in the first place. The last suggestion I have for being proactive is when you're sending a message to a host family, tell them in that message why you're sending them a message. Be honest, tell them what makes them stick out to you. I think that host families find this genuine, and once again, it helps you stick out over the competition that just sends a message saying, I'm interested in your profile. Step number 4 is to ask tough questions. This is really, really important. After you've sent messages to host families and once you're starting to narrow down your options, you are going to start doing video interviews. During these video interviews, you're going to want to make sure you ask these host families questions that are going to be really important for your au pair stay. If you're familiar with my content or my story, you've heard me talk about my au pair horror story, my second experience, and essentially the whole reason that things didn't go well was the host family and I were not on the same page before I got there. I didn't ask them difficult questions, they didn't really ask me difficult questions, and as a result, neither one of us had a good expectation as to what the experience was going to be like. So by asking tough questions or questions that might seem a bit awkward, it's going to help you narrow down those families and really make sure they're a good match for you. Some questions that you need to ask that might be a bit awkward is 1, how do they discipline their kids? Maybe they don't discipline their kids, and that's something important to know. Ask about their experience with other au pairs. Has it been good? Has it been bad? Why or why not? Ask what the most important thing for them in an au pair is, because if they say dedication and you say having fun and partying, that might be a conflict of interest. You get the gist. Just ask questions that are going to show you their personality and that are going to give each other a better idea of the au pair and the host family and the other's expectations. Step 5, the last step of the process, is to be patient. This one I think is the hardest one, but don't just sign on to the first family that offers you a job. Shop around, talk to different families, and make sure they're a good match for you before you agree to be their au pair. Finding a host family can be a really long process. It took me almost 3 months to find my current host family, my year-long host family, so it can be really time consuming, really long, but you just have to be patient. And I promise, if you're patient, if you're diligent, if you work hard, you will have good results. Alright guys, so this wraps up the video on how to find the right host family. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to like it, subscribe to AuPairWorld, and go on over to my channel as well. I'd love to see you. Thank you so much for watching. Muchas gracias por ver y hasta luego. Ciao.